welcome to Posse Presents. This is our first night with our new equipment here in the studio, and it's pretty daunting, but we're going to pray for no glitches. We have a couch full of lovely ladies from Companion, Pet Rescue, and Transport. Welcome, all of you.
Thank you.
We've got Kris Markham, who is someone who I became familiar with through my column. She approached me to do a story about a dog named Teddy, and Teddy was a special needs pup.
Yep, he was three-legged.
Three-legged, and that was, he was so cute.
He was a good boy.
And you told me the other day he got in a good place.
He did. He was adopted.
And
thank you for your help.
Well, thank you for, that's what my column is for. And now this is what the show is for, because we've got another guest tonight. We also have Melissa Kearns. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Melissa and I actually sort of have a connection with my column, but kind of with Mojo, and it kind of got a little convoluted there because I brought Mojo to the vet to get him neutered, and they told me about a dog who needed a home, and it was little Miss Ellie who is in my intro. She is the little black girl. She's like the third dog in, and we tried to get her a home, and we tried. All right,
we tried everything.
Leave it at that. But that's how I know you. Oh, Macy, are you bored already?
Yeah, already.
And we also have Kristin Gholson. Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know her.
You will now.
Yeah, we do. We're friends all the time, so it's good. It's good. And Companion Pet Rescue is where our other friend Deidre, who has been on the show before, where she got her absolutely fabulous little pup, Finnegan.
I know.
Who has also been on the show. So there's a little circle of familiarity here and little crazy connections. And I used to think that the car business was incestuous, but
it's a small world.
It's a very small world. We cross over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
But with us tonight, we've got Macy, and we're going to talk about her first because, dogs are good, but sometimes they might get a little not so good. But she doesn't like she's going to be a problem. I met Macy earlier today at one of your events. She is up for adoption. And ladies, tell me about Macy, other than the fact that she's gorgeous and she's like clearly so well behaved.
Well, she's fostering Macy, so.
She's about 1.5 years. We think she's a boxer lab mix. I think she might have a little hound in her too.
Yeah, I see the boxer in her. Definitely somewhere in there.
Oh, she likes it.
I think she's a little dog. She wants a new foster home. She's very good. She likes cats. She loves other dogs. She loves people. She just loves everyone. And she's housebroken, completely housebroken.
There's a bonus. Trained.
She was found abandoned in Tennessee. So one of our volunteers in Tennessee picked her up and got her safely to us to get her spayed and up to date on everything and available for adoption now.
Is she good with a crate?
She is also good in a crate. Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, she got to meet Mojo this afternoon.
Yeah.
And she was a little standoffish at first, but then she started getting into the play bow and everything.
Yeah, she's pretty laid back, but she can be very playful also. She's got a nice medium energy level. She walks great on a leash, and she does well in the car. She's
I saw her out there in the parking lot. She was just like,
just hanging out.
I'm good.
Maybe I'll get a tattoo.
That would have been a good trick if you could have done it, right? But yeah, Mojo's a little bit much. So, he's just like,
he's awesome.
Like I posted on Facebook, his propeller tail, and he like jumps up in the air and he spins around, and it's like, okay, he's taking off. But yeah, if someone wants to adopt Macy, or if someone is interested in finding out any more about her, doing a meet and greet with their animals, who should they contact? How should we go about that?
She's available on cprdogs.com. So that's where the application would be, and all the information for her is on cprdogs.com.
And through them, they set up the meet and greet with Kris, whoever is fostering the dog. Yeah.
She might go home with Kristin now.
No.
Yeah, she's definitely showing a little bit of a tendency to have defection here.
Yeah.
Baby lover.
A defection affection.
Yes.
All right, so tell me about CPR. It was founded in 2004 in Tennessee. And tell me what kind of work they do and how they ended up here. And
it was founded by Molly Bowen down in Tennessee, 2004. I think since then they've rehomed about over 10,000 dogs now.
Wow, the website still says like 7,500.
Yeah,
so
it's over 10,000 now.
Needs to be updated.
Yeah.
I think they usually do over 200 a month are transported up here to their new homes. So it's really an exceptional kind of program, and they got started, Molly started it seeing just a need down there for rescues and to pull dogs, and there was just such an overpopulation going on, and she started pulling dogs from shelters, and people started turning in dogs to them, and they were able to purchase a farm down there in 2008, and they started being able to kennel some more dogs on the farm and save even more dogs, and now a lot of local people will drop off their pets there, and some of the volunteers just find dogs there left on the side of the road, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and they don't have laws down there like we do up in
Right.
these states for spay, neutering, vaccinations, all that. So, you know, they get a lot of calls, oh, yeah, I have a litter here, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they rescue the litter, and so that's what they get a lot, or else, and they're affiliated with a few kill shelters that will contact them for, to save the dogs. And then, you know, they take care of them. They do spay, neuter, vaccinations when they're all ready, or if they, you know, if they're sick with heartworm, anything, they take care of all that, and then they're ready for adoption.
Suck it up to the host.
Yeah.
You can
So I
see she
did
really
read
doesn't
that
like
if-
people.
If someone, you're not a people person at all. And
Yeah,
you're
she's not
yawning
good
in
with
my
people.
face. I read that if someone does have a litter, they try to make sure that if that mom gets spayed and taken
It's one
care
of our
too.
requirements.
One of the requirements to
Yeah.
take in a litter, they
They
have
don't
to allow
send
us to
any
spay the
dogs
mother
up.
dog.
They don't send any dogs up without
Yeah,
them
so they
being
would
spayed.
require-
If we help a family that calls
Right.
us in for help, they have a mom who's pregnant, has puppies, and they call and say, we need help, our dog's, it's a requirement that CPR has, is that they allow us to spay and neuter all the adults in the home.
Yeah, that's
To stop
actually.
it. Because
I mean, otherwise then it's
Right,
in 6
it's-
more months. It's
Right.
done again
Exactly,
and
same
again
thing.
And
Yep.
again,
Mhm.
and yeah, I know.
She's such a ham.
Yeah.
She is. You always wonder, or I do. How is a dog really gonna do? They don't know they're on TV.
I know.
Right.
They're just like, for all they know, hanging out at somebody's house. And
She's a
showing
natural
her-
star.
Here, Mace, you okay?
She's too cute.
She's cute.
So how did an organization operating down in Tennessee end up in New England?
Okay, so,
This is
Take over,
your
Kris.
story. I heard this the other day.
so I adopted from them in, I think it was 2008, I adopted from them one of my dogs. And when I finally made my way onto the internet, into Facebook and that sort of thing, and found them.
When you came into this age?
Yeah. And I found them on there, and Molly was asking for fosters. Well, I had no idea she was looking in Tennessee for foster homes. So I kept saying, well, I'll foster. I keep telling you I'll foster. I don't understand, But she was kind of dragging her feet a little because she said, I don't know how we would ever make a Connecticut program work out, with transporting them and bedding and this sort of thing. And it just, the first dog came up, I think,
Macy.
in 2009, and from
Macy.
there, I think that year they did 750 placements, and now they're up to 2,000 a year.
She's too funny.
So I think we probably have about 20 foster homes
Okay, come on.
in Connecticut now.
Come on.
And
Come on. All right, come on.
because there's not enough people
Come on.
on the couch.
Hi, Macy.
She needs some space.
It's like so funny.
We can all fit on here,
Yeah,
us
of
four
course we
girls.
I
can.
think she'd go to her foster mom.
Oh, no, she likes us better. Sorry, Kris.
No.
No. She sees you all the time.
I know, but well, they're a lot prettier.
None of that. None of that. Well, if you were wondering if she's just like a snuggler,
There you go.
Yeah.
couch potato snuggler,
She thinks she's a lap dog.
Yeah, well, don't they all?
Yeah.
I mean, I know people with 120-pound dogs. Who are like,
Yeah.
pinning them down on the couch. and
She
it's
thinks
like,
she's a chihuahua.
Do you think you're a chihuahua?
Macy,
Macy?
you're too
Yeah, she
much.
does. So then basically after that, they
Yeah,
started
we
the
got-
road dogs transport.
Well, I
and-
think they were using
oh,
road
they were
dogs
doing that
then.
before,
Mhm.
yeah.
So they do
And-
have their own transport company, or they?
It's
they,
separate from CPR, but it's, how, do you know
It's actually, Molly actually owns, she started
Right.
it,
Uh-huh.
started Road Dogs, and now her son Cole is actually, drives the truck and does all of that sort of thing.
And so I was reading too that they are very. I've had experiences through the shelter that I used to be with.
Right.
Like transport from down south. And
Right.
it's a filthy van with,
Oh,
you
no,
know,
ours is great.
with
State of the art.
Literally, I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you, this was my experience the one time I met this particular transport.
Mm-hmm.
They were crate on top of crate on top of crate, and we went to pick up the puppies that we were supposed to be getting for our shelter. And, you know, we're like, we brought food, you know, there's a store around the corner. Do you need anything? We'll help you out. No, we've been feeding them a handful of milk bones, tossing them over their shoulder. Where they fell, and who could eat it, ate it. So this is like the taste that
it's like
some
the Cadillac.
People, yeah.
It's like the Cadillac of transport.
So tell us about
exactly.
tell us.
It's a 4-star transport.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
climate
Or 5-star.
controlled. The drivers, they
Yes.
walk the adults. They take out who needs to be. They get out and they clean the dogs' pens, you know, throughout the trip. So they
Right.
arrive and as
this
clean
is
as
what I was reading.
as
It's
clean of
worth noting
condition
because,
as.
yeah.
And
There's
they
air
also transport
purifiers.
for other groups, not just
Right.
CPR. They also transport for other groups.
So if there was like, you know, there's that occasion where people see a dog and they're like, oh my goodness, you know, I
if it's
want
in
it,
their
and
if it's in their route, they do that.
if it's
as
in their
well.
path, they will.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, it bears mentioning because I was
Right.
reading,
Right.
you know, that, you know, you guys have like the
Right.
the-
Well, and it's
you take the
important to get
stops
them
and
up
you check
here
'em.
in a healthy state and in a
Right.
happy state. You know, it's a huge transition for them to do that, and you know, you want them to come up here and have it as less traumatic as it can be.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I mean, it's
They
a
do a
long
great
trip.
job.
If they're not taken care of,
We
then
kind of worship our drivers.
Yeah.
and I
We
see
do.
you call like your people the pit crew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the CPR pit crew,
Yeah.
and we have a great organization. I mean, just a
They are.
testament of the people who showed up the past 2 days at the events we've had. The amount of people who have come out to support us is amazing.
We have, you know, we're friends, but we've kind of turned into a big family. Like, we just are all very close, and we have fun at all of our events that we put together, and we're all in it for the same reason, and it's just fun, you know.
And it should be, you know.
and that's what it's all about.
It should
Right.
be fun as
Yeah.
well as meaningful.
We
Yeah.
go home and
And-
collapse, but we do have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate to that,
Yeah.
believe me, I can relate to that. So you have how many fosters up here and how many channels and what happens to the dogs when they get up here?
Well, now
I mean,
since
in
the adoption
general, right.
center,
We had, I mean, probably before what you had 25 to 30 at least people that were willing to foster.
Right. Well, we probably had between 20 and 25 foster homes until we
Right.
opened our adoption center in October of last year. So
And that's in
in
Southbury.
Southbury, okay.
So once that opened, it freed up the need so much for the foster homes, and because foster homes is a whole nother chapter that you have
Right.
to handle. You know,
Yeah, you absolutely have to
it's a-
screen your people.
absolutely,
Right.
you have to
You can't
juggle
just-
things.
yeah.
And
yeah.
I think now they, for the most part, use the foster homes. If we have a dog that kind of needs a little bit more
Special,
socialization, if some of them are a little shy, they just won't flourish as well at the adoption center, then we'll put them in a private foster home.
Right.
We like to get the adults into private foster homes, especially larger ones. We don't like to keep them at the adoption center too long. So, and sometimes those take the longest amount of time to rehome. So
Oh, sure.
that sort of thing we like for them to be in just in a family environment in a
Yeah.
foster home and
It's
kind
always
of get
good for-
get used to living in a home and that sort of thing.
Right.
Mhm.
So you have adoption events fairly regularly, or
just about every
Yeah,
weekend.
we have once a month we're at the Petco in Southington.
so you have them,
So we
you have them in different locations.
Yeah, different locations. We
Yes.
have, and we do different events. I mean, we do fun, you know, tattoo things like we
Yes.
did today, bottle and can drive. We do everything.
And we
It's
have open houses
yeah.
3 Saturdays out of the month at the adoption
At
center.
the
Yes.
adoption center. And where is that located?
That's at Willow Creek Farm in Southbury on North Georges Hill Road.
Okay.
Yes.
And they have regular hours,
10 to 2.
10 to 2?
Every
on
there's 3 Saturdays. The Saturday that we're not off site at an adoption event, we won't name names where we go.
Right.
But we always, we can always use volunteers there to walk the dogs, and we have orientations, you know,
Yep, we do
for
orientation
anyone
once
who
a
wants
month.
to volunteer.
And if somebody wants to volunteer, let's go into like exactly the kinds of things. Like you have like dog walkers, kennel cleaners.
It's mostly just dog
Dog walk,
walkers.
yeah.
dog walkers.
Mhm.
Okay.
No, because when we have big ones like this that are there, they really do well with
Yes.
petting, walking.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's so important to have a socialized dog
Right.
and a dog that doesn't lose that sense of human contact.
Right.
Right.
And sometimes, you know, it boggles my mind, some of the dogs that I've come into contact with, or their stories or whatever. I mean, they're just dogs that are kept out in pens all their lives.
Right.
Yeah.
And they have
And see, we don't do that
nothing.
there. If dogs are down there for too long, they'll move them around. If they're at the down at our adoption center for a few weeks and they feel like they need to be moved, then that's where we have the foster homes that we can move them to for a bit to get, because we just, you know, it's like the stagnant, you know, if they sit there too long, they need to be moved, change of scenery, you know, just different venues for them.
Not that they don't get socialized there.
Right.
I mean, people are there all day. You know, Doug and Linda, they're there walking, and then you have the volunteers coming walking. So they do get socialized there, but like she said, you know, some just, you know, they don't get adopted, so you kind of want to
move them along.
Yeah.
And so I think you were telling me that like sometimes when you do get these dogs, they do go to rescues.
We have some shelters in the area that we do work with as well, and a lot of times they can move them to them as well. We work with a few of them in the area that will take them in and.
Aren't you the lucky one?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, check everything out.
Well, you know, not for nothing, but now you know just how entertaining she would be if you brought her home into your little living arrangement. She's highly entertaining. All right, so a lot of people would argue bringing dogs up from down south. I mean, you know, there's so many here, and you know, there's those of us that, you know, knock ourselves out every day just trying to place the dogs that we have in our pounds and shelters. What would you say to the people who might say to you, you know, why are you bringing dogs up from down south? Because I know that's a sticking point. I think you were kind of surprised the other day when.
No, people do ask us that quite often, and we
What's the matter,
we
baby
don't.
girl?
We never try to compete with local pounds, you know, by far. We all actually share. We cross post dogs in the local pounds, but a lot of times, unfortunately, it's pit bulls or dogs that. And not that I have anything against it. I love them, but for some families, it's just not the right dog, or their homeowners, or you know, whatever their issue is, that they can't have one. So if they can't find the dog here that they want, and there's dogs dying in Tennessee, that
they're purebreds, they're you know, perfect family dogs. You know, if that's, you know, they want that perfect family dog or whatever, and it's not a pit bull.
Then why have them dying down there needlessly if we can find them a home here? You know, I'd rather see someone who, if they go to a pound and they can't find a dog that fits their needs, come through someone like us rather than go to a pet store and buy a puppy mill dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's really just, it's a lot of that. And, you know, it's really, to us, it doesn't really matter which dog's life we save. Any dog's life saved to us.
We're saving a dog in Hong Kong. It's fine. That's
Yeah.
the same. It's all the same, you know. We're just in it for the
Yeah, but we do.
Yeah.
You know, we definitely don't ever. We try to share even the dogs in the local pounds too.
We always encourage people to go to their local pounds to look at the dogs there. But if they didn't find one, then instead of going through a breeder or going through a pet store, then check out, you know,
and it's funny because we even have
see.
people in Tennessee through CPR who will also see our posts through Waterbury the Waterbury Animal Pound, and they will also cross-post for us from Tennessee. They'll cross-post them because they, like Hartford's or someone who has like till 3 o'clock, and they'll be cross-posting for us because they have enough connections with people up here who will see that and maybe go. So it's really just about saving dogs.
Well, it truly is. I mean, you know, there's again, when you have like the experience like I did with like these horrible people, you know, you think, why am I doing that? They come up and they're sick and they're this and they're that. But clearly, if you have an established organization that is so conscious of all the steps involved.
Yeah, you need to know your rescue. You need to know who you're working with, and you know, really look into who you're going through.
And exactly what you said, like, why should a dog die just because, you know, you're drawing, you know, like the Mason-Dixon line or whatever, you know, the Confederate line or
it's not
whatever.
their fault. Same as the dogs here. It's not their fault. They're in those positions. So.
And it's funny you're talking about, once again, I always preach, you know, the power of Facebook.
It's huge.
It's
huge
it is.
now.
It's absolutely incredible because now you're telling me that like the stuff we're posting up here is bouncing down there and coming back up.
Absolutely.
And there's to me there's absolutely nothing Facebook seems to not, you know, there's nothing you can't do.
Well, if it wasn't for Facebook, I don't even know when CPR would have made it into Connecticut because literally that's how
you found them.
Well, that's how I knew they were looking for fosters, and I said, well, let's do this. I made it into the technical world.
Yeah. Yeah, so if it wasn't for Facebook, then you wouldn't.
And really, it was even the shout outs from there that got the 20 to 25 foster homes here. So.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
And pretty much, it kind of sounds like if you hadn't like made that offer to foster, they may not even have really made the connection.
It may have or may not have, but.
Way to go, Kris.
Come on,
Take the credit.
Take a little credit.
It's come a long way, but it's been a whole crew of people to do this. None of us do this alone. It is like the strongest team of people I've ever worked with.
I agree.
I always say it takes a village.
It does.
You know, everybody does
Certainly
their
a village.
part. You know, whether it's you know, the cross posting or the fostering
Every
or
little thing.
And that's
Right.
the funny thing about
Right.
like our group is we have certain people who just do certain things. Like certain people can't foster, but they're so good at networking. They collect supplies. They do. Everybody has something. Everybody does their part.
Right.
and it's so important
Yep.
because
Right.
Yeah, every piece.
Every bit helps. And
every piece of the puzzle, every
Exactly.
little cog in the wheel in the machine, and then everything, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got a dog. We can't even see her. You know, she's a little she's like
Taking a nap
so
now.
off camera.
She's totally out of the camera.
Well, you know, she settled down.
had
it.
She
Yeah.
settled down nicely.
She's had a
Yeah.
long weekend.
Well, she had a big day today too.
Big
I was
day
just gonna
yesterday
say,
and
you had
today.
her with you like from what time until what time?
Well, yesterday we had an adoption event she was at, and so that's exhausting for them.
Yes.
And then she's been over at our tattoo fundraiser today, pretty much the whole day. I brought her home for a 2-hour nap and to
And
just
it's a
rest
lot of
up.
stimulation for them. So they're when they get home, they're like
right.
Yeah.
exhausted.
I mean, even when I had Mojo there, you know,
Yeah.
there's people walking by, hey,
Oh,
you know, they
all
want to
day.
play,
Yeah.
and you know, same thing with her. I mean,
She's pooped.
she sure is. It's like the old commercials, you know, her hair held up, but she didn't.
Yeah.
Her hair did hold up.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
looks
her hair
good.
held up really good.
She does.
She's
Oh,
like,
she knows we're talking about
yeah,
it.
she's like batting her eyes. and,
Got a
like,
little
getting ready to do the stretch. So if somebody wants to contact you guys, what are websites, phone numbers, email addresses?
I'd say the easiest way is to go to the website, www.cprdogs.com.
Okay, one more time for everybody out there.
www.cprdogs.com.
Okay.
And on there you can access, you know, there's information just about the rescue, how it got started. There's the email address on there. There's the adoption application if you were interested in any of the dogs. There's a link to all of the adoptable dogs that they have available. There's great stuff on there. There's some videos on there, that sort of stuff.
We have a newsletter monthly.
Yeah, and the monthly newsletter that they just started up a few months ago. And you can get, you know, put your contact in there to get that information. And they put out great information, lots of pictures every month of, you know,
Yeah,
pups
I mean,
that
it's a
have
really
been
nice
adopted.
website because I was looking at it today.
Yeah.
You sent me the link and I was doing my homework.
They
We're
have-
trying
They
to.
have the
Yeah.
Facebook to like
Yeah,
them
and
on
the
Facebook on the
link
website.
is on there too.
And with that, they show all of the events coming up and
Right.
everything that's new. You
Yeah,
know.
everything was linked together quite nicely,
Yeah.
and it was
Yes.
very comprehensive.
And Facebook is more up to date with the you know, the newest things coming up and whatnot. So Facebook and the website. You know.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So look at her; she's like so crashed out. I'm looking at the monitor, and you see the leash.
Yeah.
And
There's
no
the leash
dogs.
going.
You've got like remember those like back
She's
in,
attached on the,
like,
the
back
fake
in the day,
one.
the fake dog.
Yeah, that's what she's like. But she's quiet.
Yeah, no,
She's not
she's
climbing
being
on your head
great.
again.
We could probably
gorgeous.
drop the leash at this point. And
Yeah.
she's not going anywhere. But.
Yeah, no, you'd give me a heart attack though because that'd be instant.
I
She'd
know.
get up and she'd go like
Yeah, that's when
plow
she'd
down the
leave.
couch or
The
something.
cameras, yeah.
Yeah, we just got the
That'd be a fun
cameras.
show.
Don't do it. Anyway, so if you've got any questions and you didn't catch this information, we've got it up on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. And I put, you guys saw, I was like linking away. I was sharing your
Yeah, I saw
website and your
Yeah.
Facebook page and today's event in case anybody's
Yes.
going on till 10 o'clock. So
Yeah, we're heading
Any-
back over there after
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I know you were
Long
like,
day.
oh, I don't know if I can come. I'm like, yeah, okay.
I'm like, you better come.
Nobody was
We
left
made her.
anybody out of it, right?
Yes.
Right.
Anyway, we're sort of winding down here, and I just want to mention that this is my last Sunday night. I am moving to Saturday nights, and we will be on Saturday nights from now on at 7 o'clock, and that would be just before my friend Speedo's 316 show. And he just snuck back into the studio, giving him a plug. So that I will be on at 7 now, and he will be on at 8, and we will be having a great time, and we will have hopefully a lot of new and neat stuff we can do with the set. which is really exciting. And like, you guys are all looking at me like, okay.
We're thinking, maybe we're just thinking, well, thank goodness we didn't get stuck in that one.
What, all the new and exciting stuff?
All the funny things we're going to do with the set.
No, like seriously, like they have like behind the curtain back here, they have like the green wall. So you can put like anything you want back there now.
Can we do like moving? Do you have the moving
Yeah,
thing too?
like-
Can we
like
like driving in a car? Stuff
Yeah,
like that.
seriously. Like from now on, if I really want to get like ambitious, I can like put the videos of the dogs back.
Oh, that would be nice.
That would be neat.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, because we've had training this week and it's been really fun and I'm
Nice.
excited. So like it
Good
just
for you. That's nice.
it bears the mention. So
Mhm.
you know I'm
Absolutely.
excited. Okay.
Now you're gonna be more stressed, more technical things to worry about.
Yeah. Did you notice that I'm like a little?
No,
bit,
you're not. You're not.
not
She
much.
always says she is, but
No way.
she doesn't appear to be. So.
No.
Yeah, that's the whole never let them never let them see you sweat thing.
Yeah.
But you do just fine. So don't worry.
Macy was a little stressed though.
Yeah, she looks very
She,
stressed.
you know something? You're gonna have to like give her like a sleeping pill or something tonight.
so.
'Cause
She's really
I-
wound
I-
up.
I
Yeah.
think she's going to be out for the count all night.
Macy, Mace,
No, nothing.
nothing.
Leave me alone.
Macy, you want to say goodbye?
I know. Come on, come say goodbye. Come on.
Yeah, look at her, she's like, nah.
She does like
no, you say
she
goodbye
totally,
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, you know, I made my appearance.
Yeah.
I
They
don't
saw
wanna
me
do it.
enough.
She's a diva.
She is.
So when is your next adoption event?
When is our next one? We've been so
You guys had a
we've
busy-
been so
okay,
consumed with
you
this
had-
weekend.
Maybe the second weekend of April, I think,
Yeah.
is the
Okay.
next
We had a
one.
busy weekend this weekend.
You had a busy
Yeah.
weekend, and
Yes.
I just, you know, we've got like what, like 30 seconds or something like that.
But we always welcome people to the adoption center, so.
you guys did like a bottle and can thing, and there was the
Yeah.
picture
Oh
that
my
you
gosh.
posted. Somebody actually, there was like a meatball or something. And on that note, we're gonna say goodnight. So we're gonna do it. Ready to do it with me? Peace,
Peace.
love, and
What's the
dogs.
dog thing?
Peace, love, and dogs.
Peace,
I know what the dog
I
sign
knew it was
was.
peace, love, and dogs, but I don't
Yeah,
remember
it's
what
just,
sign
you
it
Something
know,
like it.
Oh,
dogs.
okay.
It's real cool. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good
We're gonna
night.
fade out. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.